Alright, so in this video I'm going to teach you how to get a Tame Impala vocal effect on Audacity. But before we begin, if you're trying to release your music on Spotify, Apple Music, you name it, click the link in the description below because it will give you 7% off DistroKid, which is easily the best music distributor you can be using. DistroKid's already just 20 bucks, so 7% off that is just even better. It helps me out when you do it, so it's a win-win situation. So consider doing it, just clicking the first link in the description. And before we begin, consider subscribing and hitting the bell for more videos like this. It's free and you can change your mind whenever you want. Without further ado, let's get started. Alright, so we're on Audacity, and before we begin, the song I'm going to be using as an example for this video is my own song, In Space Chasing Stars. I highly recommend you click the link in the pinned comment and check it out before this video begins so you know what I'm about to do. I would really appreciate it, and I think you'd enjoy it considering it sounds like Tame Impala. But anyway, the first thing you're going to do is actually record your vocals. Compared to other microphones, this one's pretty cheap, but I recorded it with a Blue Yeti microphone. But keep in mind, the main thing you have to focus on is that you want to record at least 2 takes, if not more, of the same vocals. And the reason why is because it makes your voice sound a lot wider and a lot thicker. A lot of artists do it. It's called double tracking. And I'll just play it right now so you know what it sounds like. Completely raw with no other effects. I'm so distant from this earth, all the stars are painting the motions and the ocean is expanding. In my eyes saw the reason. I think it sounds pretty good without the effects, which is a pretty good sign. If you already like how they sound before adding any effects, that's a pretty good sign that you should keep going. Before we do anything, we kind of want to like clean up any like extra like messy stuff. So for example, over here you can hear just like some background effects, some white noise, just me coughing or whatever. If you want to remove stuff like that, you have to highlight it and then click generate and silence, and that'll basically just remove it for you. So the very first effect we're going to use is actually compressor. So we're going to go here, highlight it, and click effects, compressor. I chose to make it like this. However, it's a lot smarter for you to like play around with each knob and click preview just to see what sounds best. For those curious on what threshold and ratio and all that stuff is, I found a very informative picture on Instagram that kind of just describes it. So if I can find it, I'll put it on the screen right here. But anyway, you basically get that and you click OK. And as you can see, just like every compressor, all it basically does is takes the quietest sounds and the loudest sounds and kind of puts them in an in-between, kind of squishes them together, which makes it sound much louder, like this. I'm so distant from this earth, all the... You will notice that it is a bit too loud. I mean, it got to like the red parts over here, as you can see. And in order to remove that, we're going to do a couple things, but the main thing, first of all, is we're going to add a limiter. So the limiter is going to just make everything a little more dull. It's going to make the edges a little duller. It's not going to make them as sharp and annoying. So the way I did it is I went to hard limit, just basically kept it like this and clicked OK. So as you can see, like the edges changed over here. Now they're much duller, much less abrasive. But we can still go an extra step further by going on effects and equalization. And basically equalization is just managing the different frequencies of sound. And since I'm singing in more of like a falsetto-y type of sound, the high notes are definitely going to be like a lot more sharp and irritating. So what I did over here is originally this was flat, but I went over here and just dragged it down over here to reduce that sharpness in the frequencies, like over here from like 5,000 hertz all the way to like 20,000 or whatever. So now with the limiter and the equalization, it sounds a little better. It sounds like this. I'm so distant from this earth, all the stars are... It's a lot less abrasive than how it was before, and it's going to sound even less abrasive once we add the next feature, which is the reverb. So for reverb, obviously it's Tame Impala. He has a very washed out psychedelic sound, and it makes the vocals sound very wet. And for that reason, over here, these are the effects that I use. I handpicked them myself, and the way I found these effects is by obviously tweaking each different thing and clicking preview and seeing what sticks. And to me, this is what stuck out the most in the best way possible. So I'll give you a couple of seconds to just, or you, what am I saying? You can just pause it right now. And with all that being said, then it ends up sounding like this. I'm so distant from this earth, all the stars are painting the motions and the ocean. I just noticed this from one of the recordings, but there's like a pop sound, which doesn't sound good whatsoever. So if you can afford like a pop filter, or you don't even really need a pop filter, all you can really do is like put like a sock over your microphone, and keep like a bit of a distance from the microphone. It'll sound much better, because at the moment that's obviously does sound pretty unprofessional. Thankfully this is just a demo, but yeah, it's sounding a lot better, a lot more psychedelic and spacious. So now to top it all off, we want to add some delay, however not too much. It's just going to sound very off-putting. So I just went to effects, delay, and I chose these settings. So bouncing ball is basically the effect of how it's going to go. It's basically kind of like panning from one ear to the other. Delay level per echo, basically how quieter the delay becomes, the more it happens. So as you can see, the number of echoes I chose, that there will be 3 echoes. After each echo, it's going to be -10 decibels quieter. This is a pain in the ass though, the delay time. Basically you want to know the exact second that the delay starts, which is really annoying. You really have to like click preview often and just see like what sounds the best. It sounded the best for me at 0.75 seconds. That's basically it, so I just click OK.
I'm so distant from this earth, all the stars are.
So it kind of adds to like that wavy effect where it just keeps looping. So it sounds really nice. And those are basically the vocal effects. One thing I wanted to add just to like help you out is, if you think that the beat is overpowering your vocals, one thing you can do is go on equalization. And as you can see, what I did over here is basically remove like the frequencies where the vocals were definitely going to be in, kind of to create like a pocket for the vocals. The fact that there's less sound coming from those frequencies means the vocals will have more time to shine. So like that, I did it. I also reduced the gain a little bit, and with all that being said, it sounds like this.
I'm so distant from this earth, all the stars are painting the motions, and the ocean is expanding in my eyes. Saw the reason that we orbit round.
And that's basically it. For those who feel that they should be using auto-tune as well, just some quick advice for that. Obviously you have to go and get yourself an auto-tune, but I have auto-tune Evo VST over here. And in order to make it sound best, obviously you have to find the key and the scale of the song. And keep the retune speed at like about 50 to 40. Humanize at 100. Because Tame Impala does not have an auto-tune sound. You want to make it sound as less auto-tuned as possible. Basically just keep it like that. But anyway guys, that has basically been the video. Thank you so much for watching. Consider subscribing and hitting the bell for more tutorials like this. It would mean a lot to me. Also, if you enjoyed the song that we've been making, it would mean the world to me if you can download that song on Spotify, Apple Music, whatever, put it on your playlist. It means a lot to me. Thank you guys so much for watching, and peace.